What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to another Warframe video. So we got another episode this week in Warframe. We go over the entire weekly reset, what to expect as a Warframe player this week. And as far as this week in Warframe, we got the last couple hours of the Halloween Naberus event going right now. So basically say goodbye to your pumpkins tomorrow. And we've also got a double affinity weekend starting on Friday. Additionally, we've got the Moustache Movember event going too, but that's not as important gameplay-wise. If you enjoy the types of videos, make sure to sub this channel to daily Warframe video uploads. We're also live on stream right now, some giveaways. And as far as your first weekly reset, you got a Teshin 3-Forma bundle for 75 steel essence. Pretty okay deal, because there's no build times required on that one. You might also, if you haven't logged in since like Friday, we got a bunch of login bonuses, so you can take a look at that. Things such as Archon Tau shards being guaranteed. You got this nice Cyan I've got equipped right now. Umbra Forma, so lots of good stuff. And there's no rush to, you'll be able to get access to this from basically now until the end of this year, like the end of December. So if you're planning to sign in for the old peace update, you should be set. Moving over to the Zeramon Dormizone. Oh, and also here, yeah, as far as how many hours you got left in the Naberus event, you have like 16 hours as of right now. So it's probably more about like 14 hours if you're watching this video, like around when it goes up. Yeah, as far as what's going away, the Naberus vendor with like the Sentient Surge Augment mod for the Octacore, bunch of cosmetics, that's going away until probably next year, honestly. So yeah, maybe grab a bunch of copies of that if you want to sell those to people. As far as your Dormizone over here, it's a decent place to get Oricon reactors, Rivens, and stuff like that. It does also rotate weekly. I do get some questions on some of the videos. It's like, hey, why aren't you covering the Lich weapons that rotate? Isn't that on a weekly basis? No, sadly, the rotation of the Lich weapons is every 4 days. So that's why I don't cover them in these weekly reset videos, because it's not actually a weekly reset item. What is weekly reset is some of this stuff over here. So you got a Rifle Riven mod for 15 Pathos. You got a Oricon Reactor for 20 Pathos, and you got a Rifle Riven for 15 Pathos. So pretty decent stuff right there. But yeah, those Rifle Rivens are not that expensive nowadays, but yeah, if you want another Riven, another lever pull for something good. As far as moving over to the calendar challenges and all that, these are a great place to get Archon shards. Probably the easiest method. The only thing that's hard about this is just getting this level unlocked, because it's like one of the late game quests. But yeah, as far as you got here, got the calendar challenges for this week, and as far as what we got for our first loot drop, we get a resource booster, basically 40 plat of value, I believe it is, or you can get 2 arcanes. As far as the first buffs here, power gains is one of my favorite buffs. You can grab just flat power strength all the time in these 1999 missions. But punch card for some punch through for weapons is decent, and psionic feedback is like AoE rad procs to get shot. Probably the worst perk you can pick on this tier. Afterwards, you got a Forma Blueprint or a Arcane Singular, and this cannot be Arcane Hotshot, sadly, so pretty bad drops on that tier. Moving on, you've got 200 Phosphor, which is basically another loot box, a Arcane loot box, or you can get another resource drop chance booster for like 6 days total so far. Sharing and Caring is the next buff you could pick from. Every 10th ability makes the next one free for yourself and allies. If you're really spamming a lot of abilities, sure, but yeah, not my favorite. Targeted Medicine, shooting a health orb will pick it up, and a health orbs have a chance to duplicate when picked up. And this one's also pretty fun too. Frequent Flyer benefits reload, fire rate, casting speed, and melee attack speed are increased by 100% while airborne. Very good with Zephyr if you want to like do Zephyr for some missions in these 1999 tiles. Kill some Maximus, you can get another Riven mod or a singular arcane. Probably go for the Riven mod here. And for your last tier of drops, you've got another Riven or an arcane, so you have the duplicated drop. So 2 Rivens easy here. Lots of free Rivens this week, I've noticed. And then for the final drop, you get 200 Phosphor or an Oricon Reactor. Really up to you. You have to build the Oricon Reactor. It's a blueprint here. And then for your final drops, another Power Gains buff. How many Power Gains buffs do we have this season? Okay, that would be the 4th Power Gains buff, so a lot of power strength if you've been playing this entire season. Or you get Emergency Medicine or Bond Lightning, giving status chance of electricity to all weapons. So pretty decent buffs. Not the best loot this week unless you want some extra random Rivens. Let's move on to the Elite Weekly for the 1999 Hex tile set. This is going to be requiring rank 5 of the Syndicate, but if you do have access to that and grinded it out, you can get even better shards, because there was actually no shards in that calendar over there. This is hopefully going to give you some nearly guaranteed shards.
Space friend. Bellamere
Alright, as far as this weekly here, this is random loadouts. Now, there is a new weekly coming in the old piece update called Descendia. It did not look like it had random loadouts, so that might be good for people that don't like random loadouts, like a lot of people don't. But as far as what we got here, Hell Scrub mission, Defense mission, Exterminate mission. Modifiers for the Hell Scrub, which is basically survival. Toxin, hold your breath. Whenever you are not in the Hell Scrubber area, you'll take toxin damage. And if you go near the, if you kill an enemy, they can drop like filters that make it not as bad. Wisp modes can help a lot here because the toxin procs are not that deadly. Wisp modes can basically offset them. Scaldra speedrun all enemies are replaced with Scaldra and move faster. Not a big deal. Post-mortal surges makes all enemies explode with void energy when they're dead, so that might be a little bit more annoying if they have a speed buff. For the defense mission, this is usually the one that gives people some issues. The first modifier is noise suppression. Drones fly above flare, the defense objective, spraying them with a fervon gas. It's not that bad, just shoot the balloons down. Second, excessive explosions. All supply crates are replaced with exploding barrels. That sounds relatively dangerous. Interesting. And artillery beacons. When killed, a Scaldra troop drops an artillery beacon that summons bombardments. Just make sure they're not in your flare, and you should have no problems here. Maybe the balloons will drop the bombardment. That could be a problem, but I doubt it. And for the last one, Exterminate should be a free mission for you at the end here. Sealed Armor is the first modifier. Enemies take 95% less damage from non-weak point hits. They're Scaldra and Tech Rot. Their weak points are pretty easy. Entanglement's the next one. If you are near a dead enemy, you will move a lot slower and have a lot less parkour velocity. And hostile regeneration. Enemies will slowly regenerate health. So hopefully you have decent builds and can go for headshots, because you don't, they're going to be regenerating that damage really quickly. For your personal modifiers to get more or less loot, you can turn these on or off. You got Dull Blades, the first one, means minus 50% combo chance for melee. Fractured Armor means casting the ability will reduce your armor by 10%. Transference Distortion means no operators or drifters allowed. Pretty dangerous one right there. And Hypersensitive, duration of negative status procs is tripled. So if you get like fire proc, it'll be like a 15-second fire proc or something crazy like that. So yeah, decent stuff there. Pretty easy modifiers, I'd say, for this week. And yeah, guys, since the Naberus Halloween event is going away tomorrow, I do believe that VE will be removing our pumpkin head. So keep that in mind, that if you really like your pumpkin helmet, it's technically probably going away tomorrow. So as far as the mushrooms, I think you just go to the utility here, and you can pick a mushroom, which I believe you can't see it with the pumpkin head. Oh, did I just call it a mushroom? I meant a mustache. But you can buy mustaches for 1 credit right now. But you cannot see it when you have the pumpkin head on. So, yeah, that is going to be there for the entire month. Alright, moving on to the Sancta Anatomica. Basically the same idea of missions. Requires rank 5 of the Syndicate, but you can get a different planet, basically. So yeah, I keep calling mustaches mushrooms, I've noticed. So maybe I need to take a break from those mushroom bounties. Moving on to our Elite Weekly over here. We've got Mere Defense, Disruption, and Assassination. Now, again, I just want to keep reminding you guys that you can no longer farm like a ton of, what's it called again, Stella in this final mission, because DE made this boss fight go a lot faster. So keep with that in mind, the missions go, you complete it faster, but yeah, you cannot farm infinite Stella there anymore. Alright, Mere Defense is your first mission. The Oracle and Vitrium take damage over time. Collecting the glyphs will halt the degeneration and partially heal them. So the thing's constantly taking damage. That's pretty annoying. Make sure you're picking up those glyphs with your teammates. Myopic Munition is my least favorite modifier. Enemies only take damage if they players within 15 meters of them. 2 really annoying modifiers to start things off with. Not my favorite so far. And Devil's Bargain, not that bad of a modifier. Allies near a dead enemy have increased fire rate and drain more ammo. So yeah, make sure you are picking up those glyphs constantly. Next one, Disruption. Engorge Gruzzlings. All Gruzzlings are Xmas. Have you fought a Gruzzling since they removed Attenuation? It's pretty funny. Gruzzlings instantly die now, so yeah, that modifier used to be really annoying. Now it's like a totally free modifier. Awesome. Free Disruption key for us. Next, Hostile Regeneration. Man, that combo before would have been so annoying. Enemies slowly regenerate health. It used to be so annoying for the Gruzzling. It's not a problem anymore. So yeah, totally free modifiers there. And Post-Mortal Surges. Enemies explode in void energy. What a free Disruption mission we got right there. Next one, Assassination. Like I said, no longer infinite Stella farm, but yeah, pretty fast now. First, Coordinated Front. Xmas, you support the Fragmented Titan in final form. Expect like an Xmas Snake and Xmas Anatomizer. Not too big of a deal. Fortified Foes, Guardian Xmas. You just may replace the Guardian of the Xmas, including Guardian Xmas Necromex. Again, shouldn't be too bad. And Bolster Belligerents. All enemies have Overguard equal to 50% of their maximum health. So you're not going to be able to tell which one isn't Xmas, because they're going to all have Overguard anyway. So, yeah, everything's an Xmas. And as far as the modifiers here, you got abbreviated abilities, all ability duration reduced by 50%. Lethargic shields, making your shield duration a lot worse. Ability overload, using the ability opens a rift nearby. Not that big of a deal to shoot the rift. And the last one, frame curse syndrome. Activating the ability does 50 damage to you. So open a rift and cause 50 damage when you cast an ability. Shouldn't be too bad, especially with how easy that boss fights become. Alright, so as far as the Bird 3 shard here, you get a guaranteed red shard. It's very nice of Bird 3 to bring that for us. This will require rank 5 with the Kavia Syndicate to grab it. Now, as far as the new weekly, again, with the Descendica, I think it's called, in December, we don't really know what the purpose of running it will be besides just basic loot. So, if DE does announce new Incarnons, I'm hoping that will be in the Descendica. Alright, as far as your circuit here, we got the frames that you can just grab as Garuda, Baruch, and Hildren. Now, as far as which one you should pick here, these all come from Fortuna, and they all are going to be not as simple and straightforward as you would think. If you, you can grab Hildren to get her guaranteed parts, but to actually build Hildren, you must still do the Hildren fight, which is the Exploiter Orb, because you need Lazulite toroids to build her. She still probably has the best helmet of the bunch here, with Pillage being a very good helmet. But as far as Baruch, his helmet ability is Lull, it puts enemies to sleep, and Garuda's helmet ability is Blood Alter. It has some interesting use cases for it, but it's probably the worst helmet of this bunch. Now, as far as which one you should go for, Garuda comes from normal Fortuna bounties, Baruch comes from the Vox Solaris Syndicate, which is after level 5 with the normal Fortuna Syndicate, and at Hildren it comes from the Exploiter Orb, like I said, which requires a lot of farming to get. So as far as which one you should grab, I would say you should still go for Hildren, because these other ones are not, I mean, you can technically go for Baruch or Hildren. I'd say don't go for Garuda. Garuda is just really easy to get from bounties. But Hildren, you have to do a couple Exploiter Orbs to get her, to get the Lazulite toroids, but at least you get the parts guaranteed. And Baruch, you're basically saving yourself some rep for doing spiders. So I'd say go for Baruch or Hildren. Since Hildren is the best helmet here out of the bunch, I'd say go for her. And Hildren is extremely powerful in the current patch, by the way, if you haven't played her recently. Maybe a new Hildren video on the way. For your Steel Path Incarnon, you actually have some extremely important and helpful stuff this week, especially because we have a double credit weekend coming at the end of November. November 28th to December 1st is a double credit weekend, and one of these guns here is very good for farming the Prophet Taker, which is a good credit farm. But as far as some other options here, you got Kuva and Rivenstead if you prefer to grab that. But yeah, as far as what we got here, we get the Dara Incarnon, the Sestra Incarnon, the Okina Incarnon, the Sabaris Incarnon, and the Sicarus Incarnon. The best ones are going to be the Okina and Sicarus Incarnon this week, but we're going to talk about all of them do in case you're interested to see. Maybe it would be more better for you to grab this one, personally. Okay, as far as what these do, the Dara Incarnon is a full auto rifle. Get some headshots, and you get the Incarnon form, which turns the full auto rifle into a high-powered, slow-firing, magnetic beam, I guess I'd call it. They call it a beam. I don't know if I really call it a beam. It's more like a railgun shot. It's not like a constant damage tick. It's one big hit of damage. So, that being said, it has magnetic damage built into, so very good for overguard. It hits really hard, too, with some of these perks, like, what's it called? Yeah, High Ground. Increasing base crit chance based off your status chance. You can go very good hybrid on here with status chance and crit chance very, very high. I usually use a blast magnetic build on this thing. Clears out Steel Path, great. That being said, though, it's not exactly super AoE, so unless you really like the sound effects of the Dara, the appearance of the Dara Vandal, you could probably grab other stuff this week before this. But yeah, still a great workhorse weapon. Next, the Sestra Incarnon. Definitely one of the least used Incarnons of the whole game as far as what this one does. Get some headshots with this singular pistol, and you can go to Incarnon form, which is not as exciting as you would think. At least it's full auto. It has a lot of fire rate. Critical chance increases with uninterrupted shots fired. So the Incarnon form of this thing is basically the exact thing as the normal form, but you must fire 100 consecutive bullets to get an increased crit chance by a lot. You get a ton of extra crit chance, but until you fire all those bullets, it does basically nothing useful. So because of that, it is the lowest tier this week, and no one really uses this thing. And I try to make videos on it. It's just not worth it. So yeah, if you do want to use it though, maybe go for like Death Trap Trigger giving increased crit damage. You can go for Wise Man's Regard giving base status chance, off of crit chance. There's stuff you can do, but make sure you're using a fire rate buffer as well because you have to fire a lot of bullets to get any effect out of it. So yeah, usable, but low tier for sure. Next one, Okina Incarnon, not low tier at all. This is one of the most popular melee Incarnons in the game. And as far as what this one does, these dual daggers are very, very good out the box with the Incarnon upgrades. But once you get to Incarnon 4, after a 6x combo multiplier, it will be just so good. So what it does, kills generate spectral daggers that target enemies, applying maximum cold stacks. if you haven't played Warframe in a while, did you know that cold procs can freeze enemies solid nowadays? Yeah, they were able to do that for like years and years. So now you can freeze enemies solid just from getting a kill, and these daggers are going to seek out enemies. And also, when they're cold proc, they take more crit damage too. That's another change that happened in the last year or two. So yeah, debuff enemies, freeze enemies. You're releasing a ranged daggers just from easy kills. Really good stuff. Yeah, it also is a very good movement stat stick as well. Swordsman Celerity, 30% movement speed buff. It's higher movement speed buff than most other Incarnons. So yeah, really, really good. And some of the other perks are great too. Seeing Red giving you more status damage, think of like Elementalist, or Synergist Surety giving you a bunch of extra crit damage, I think it is. Oh yeah, no, status damage on that. Yeah, very, very good stuff. So yeah, top tier choice this week. Good for melee, good for mobility, buffing, just top tier for sure. But we can talk about a reason they won't be top tier in a second here, after we get past the Naberus, which is a pretty good burst rifle. So we get some headshots of this burst rifle, and it goes to Incarnon form, which makes it go from a 2-round burst to a 4-round burst, but there's a big plus side to that 4-round burst. Now they have guaranteed blast procs in that 4-round burst. And again, if you haven't played Warframe in a while, 10 blast procs makes the enemy auto-detonate, which is pretty strong. Additionally, when the enemy dies, they'll explode anyway. So yeah, lots of blast procs, very good. If you have a multi-shot set up on this thing, you'll get guaranteed detonations. So I really like it. As far as the best one to use, you got the Naberus Prime and the Dex Naberus. I believe I usually use the Dex Naberus. It's also easier to get. But the Naberus Prime also has good status chance too. So yeah, great stuff on that one. But it's also going to be lower tier because these other ones can be considered meta in some places. So, yeah, good one. Probably like 3rd place, I'd say. It's really up to you if you like this one or the Dara more. Now, for the Sicarus Incarnon, this is the one I would say could potentially be above the Okita Incarnon, depending on how you look at it. So, as far as what this thing does, it's a pretty generic pistol. It's a burst pistol, but once you go to Incarnon form, the bullets ricochet at nearby enemies. We're not worried about that. We just care about the primary form having very, very high stats. And this is one of my go-to weapons with a Profit Taker. And like I said, the Profit Taker is a great place to farm credits at the end of the month with the double credit weekend. And yeah, so as far as what you use this thing for, it's got high stats. If you want to use it for like disruption or whatever, you could just throw on like King's Gambit, which gives you no crit chance on body shots, but a lot of crit chance on headshots. I wouldn't recommend that one for Profit Taker, so just don't worry about that one. Use Feigned Retreat instead. But yeah, I use this thing with Commodore's Fortune for Profit Taker, and it's really, really good. The burst nature of it lets it shred the shield like near instantly, so great stuff there. So now that we talk about that, the best Incarnons to grab are going to be the Okita Incarnon and the Sicarus Incarnon. If you don't really want to farm Profit Taker or whatever, and you don't want to use a good pistol, you could instead use the Sicarus Incarnon, go for like the Naberus Incarnon for those blast procs, or the Dara Incarnon for those magnetic procs and hard-hitting shots. I would only recommend the Sestra Incarnon if you really want to get every Incarnon in the game. It is like really not used that much, but yeah. That being said, number 1 could be the Sicarus if you don't have much time to farm that week, or this week, and you want to get one of the best guns for Profit Taker for the end of the month. So hopefully that was helpful to you guys. Let's move on to our Archon Hunt here. Let's see what we have. And that's going to be the Snake Archon, with the mission types being Spy, Interception, and the Boss Fight. That's going to be the Amber Shards give you things like casting speed and parkour velocity. Alright, so let's take a look at our Nightwave here. And if you got this far in the video, and you haven't hit the like button yet, you probably should, but yeah. I do want to remind you guys that there is that Nightwave challenge to turn in 10 ribbon slivers. If you didn't get to complete that one last week, do not grab the ribbon from Paladina until you get the catch-up mechanic. So do these challenges and then go talk to Paladina, okay? So that is a big, big thing. But these Nightwave challenges look really easy this week. So yeah, it shouldn't take you that long to get that Nightwave challenge catch-up mechanic unlocked. First challenge would be Ancient Obelisk. Activate 3 Requiem Obelisks on Deimos. Really easy to do that. Just fly around. Complete 3 different bounties in the Plains of Eidolon. You can do the low-level bounty for that. It's like 3 bounty steps. Next one, for your first Elite Weekly, kill 1,500 enemies. Super straightforward. You got another challenge. It's basically just destroy enemies. Same icon, even. And your other Elite Weekly, complete a capture mission in less than 90 seconds. It's not as hard as you think it is. Just play Nova Prime with a portal build. Play Titania Prime with like any build, basically. Volt Prime. Whoever you got that's like relatively fast should be able to handle this. Wukong Prime is really fast too, so it's not as bad as you think, guys. Just go to Ukko and the Void if you have that unlocked, or just go for any capture mission you have, and it should be not too terrible as long as you have the tile set relatively memorized. Your permanent weeklies, kill 30 Eximus, complete 15 missions, and kill 500 enemies are pretty straightforward. Now, they did change the sorting on the cred offering store, unfortunately. Oh, no, we got back to normal over here. I take it back. You got your evergreen stuff at the top, such as Kuva, Nightane, and Orkan reactors. And we got some decent helmets, it looks like, here with the Goth's helmet and Varuna's helmet. I got some new Varuna fashion frame and a new video I'm working on, so that should be pretty fun. We got some augment mods like Metamorphic Magazine for the Gorgon, Petrifying Enemies. We've got the Bronco Dizzying Rounds augment, very, very essential for the Bronco. It gives it built-in finisher enabling and also a bunch of status chance too, so very worth the mod slot. Efficient Beams to Convetrix, a must-run augment for the Convetrix, where you just basically have a lot more status chance. You don't drain ammo unless you're damaging an enemy. Very, very helpful. The rest of the aura mods are not that helpful this week. Energy Siphon's okay, but Dreamer's Wrath exists, or Dreamer's Bond exists nowadays. And for your Conclave augment mods, Rumbled is okay, I guess, but not really the best ones here. So yeah, that's going to be basically your weekly reset, guys. You have the Moustaches available. I didn't call them mushrooms this time. Your Pumpkins should be going away tomorrow, and your Naberus Knights is also going away tomorrow. So yeah, hopefully you have a ton of things to level up this Friday, because November might be a little bit rough in Warframe. I don't know if you guys heard, but Gyre Prime won't be until December, so yeah. And also, unfortunately, that probably means there's no cert update to fix recoil on console until December as well. So I'll see you guys next time. Ooh, nice Varuna Invigoration here. And hopefully you had a fun time watching the video. I'll see you on stream as well. Take it easy. Peace.